However, frequent guilt feels like having a low-grade virus. You never know when it's going to flare up or how long you're going to be incapacitated, but you know for sure it's going to be a punishing experience. If you've ever been racked with guilt, you know the comparison to a virus is on the mark. Just think about it. When a virus attacks your computer, it corrupts it with errors. Isn't that exactly how you feel when you're guilty? Guilt is associated with fewer physical sensations than other emotions, like fear or anger, but it's hardly a subtle emotion. It's pushy and a bit of a pest. When you feel guilty, it is as if someone is hanging over you, hovering around or gnawing at you from the inside. Guilt is the nag that won't let you forget what you did, the pedal that keeps pressing itself onto your psyche and won't let you move on, the thorn in your side that keeps needling you about what you did wrong. It can be sharp and quick, a knife of an emotion. I need to pay those bills. How could I have spent the day watching TV when I have so much to do? How could I have said such awful things to my brother? Guilt can also worm its way into your soul, take off its shoes, and settle in, robbing you of your self-worth and causing you to feel as if your life is one long apology. Although it may seem like a pathological state, guilt is a tremendously useful and compelling tool whose simple purpose is to teach you right from wrong. Guilt flags behavior that fails to meet your internal standard of self-expectation, what psychology calls an ego ideal. Even though it often feels as if it comes from outside of you, guilt rises from within. It springs from the place that wishes to be perfect, or a good deal closer to it than you will ever be. Guilt arises from what is noblest and finest in you, from the highest aspirations, your purest, most moral self. Guilt tells you that you transgress according to your personal commandments. The capacity to feel guilt helps you monitor your behavior and treat others as you wish to be treated. Without it, you have no sense of right or wrong, and society would be a chaotic free-for-all, more so than it already is. A world without guilt would be like driving on a highway with no red lights or traffic signs. People would zoom around with no restraint or regard for others or for the rules of the road. In a guilt-free society, the end would always justify the means. There'd be no doubts or second thoughts or fairness or justice or decency. They would just fly out the window. Who would want to live in that kind of uncivilized society? Guilt is the mechanism that keeps us in line and enables us to live harmoniously in community. When you stop and step out of bounds you've established, you feel badly and try not to repeat the action because you know that if you do, you will feel guilty all over again. You may not have thought so before, but guilt is a necessity, an essential emotion, a practical way to keep yourself in check. Think of it as an internal ruler that makes sure you measure up to your own standards.